Show of hands, how many of you have experienced the fear when you had to speak? There we go. What happens to our body? Someone scream out one of the words. When you have the shakes, this is why you have a podium. Hold on to this for dear life. Perspire, yes you do. You know, sometimes you might want to wear the jacket just because the shirt looks like we came off the sport boots, okay? So yeah, we perspire a lot. You also might get the cold and clammy hands. Think of everything that you could do wrong. Write that down, and then think of ways that you can correct each one of those before you start. The fear that we could have here is, what if the technology shuts off? Well, if you didn't have your handouts, then that makes it more difficult. But since you have handouts, I just keep on talking from paper copy. So find out the things that start making you feel uncomfortable, and then find ways to mitigate those. If we mitigate it, you're not going to have the problem no matter what type of a situation you are, and that's especially if you're on for a webcast or some type of telecast where you've got everybody online and you can't take a break. Opening, always start out the hook with the audience. You've had my story about the NSA and having my hand stuck in the pocket. Anytime you present to someone, start out, and it doesn't have to be long. Did people see in the news this morning this? And it just jogs the people's ideas to go somewhere else. But always have something that grabs the audience. That's what you're trying to do. Any type of opening, since you folks don't know me, you have the credibility. The introduction that Christy read this morning didn't have the CSP. I purposely wanted to leave that for this afternoon. I believe there are I've only been able to find 5 CPAs that have their CSPs. So I'm in a very small crowd. Because of that, I have the credibility to talk to you about these types of topics. And have people establish the credibility. If they don't know you on the board, well, this is Jim, he's our controller, and people say, so what? He's a bean counter. Okay. Jim has spent 5 years with a large firm, he did this, he did that, and then all of a sudden it helps people say, oh, I guess you do know what you're talking about. Thank you very much. So we build on that. Imagine tomorrow if the government instituted a flat tax. I'm starting my senatorial program soon, yes. Yeah. And what happens is that actually meant something to you as you thought about the concept of a flat tax, and people don't realize it, but they are thinking of what happens. We're delivering our financial statements. Imagine if we were overdrawn on our line of credit. What would be the impact? Imagine if we lost our main customer that represents 55% of our business. Okay? So the imagine piece helps get people in the mood as well. If you're ever asked to speak on a topic that you do not know, either make plans to do a lot of homework so you feel like you're the expert, or skip it. Somebody says, hey, we'd like you to give the presentation on the LIFO inventory method that we're using, explain it to everybody in the operations. If you're sitting there always trying to go back and remembering how LIFO works, you may not be the best person to do that. Okay? Ask somebody else to do that. Someone says it might be a complex tax situation if you're in public accounting. Unless you're really good at it, pass. Because we can actually do more harm to our reputation by not being successful in understanding it. So not knowing your target can be a big, big problem. The other area is, if someone asks a question and you don't know, people will see through it if you're bluffing. So that's a great question. You know what? Right now, I just can't, I can't put an answer to that one. Can I get to you on break? Can I get to you afterwards? And then you get the really arrogant board member. No, you should know that. You're the accountant. What's the tax consequence? I'm sorry, John. I just don't have that right now. I'll get back to you on it. And then you go forth. So if you know it, take the question and deal with it. If you don't know it, you say, I really don't have that one. And someone hit the speaker with a question, like, what does this mean? And the speaker looked at her and said, that is a question that should be asked. And everybody looked at it and said, okay, you don't know, and it's pretty apparent in that thing. So yes, let's say we don't know, and can I get back to you? And then the best part is, man, if we can have that follow-up. Assume we can even do it during break. When we come back together and we start the second session, I just want to let everybody know that the answer to John's question was this, and now let me go back into this one. We're bringing people to a board meeting. We're going to go over the financials. The 3 things I want you to hear today is cash position's a little bit weak. margins have gone down, and boom, there's our 3 items. And now we talk about the presentation. And when we get done, you'll see at the end, we go back to those 3 items and repeat it to people, so those are the items that they try to take away. We miss the references that we have out there. So as we use different information for different groups, it may or may not work. So we have to be very careful. Is Paul Newman an actor or a salad dressing manufacturer? Gender, men and women. Now, I never advocate being inappropriate with the words, but depending on who you're talking to, you can see some different items out there. We had one person come to our tech groups. She was a lady. I had 1 or 2 ladies in my groups, and she said, it is totally inappropriate to swear. You can never swear in any situation, period. And later I just pulled her aside and said, I don't disagree with you that viewpoint. I said, have you ever worked with a trucking company before? I mean, really, let's have some understanding of what the statement means and what's going on there. I am here to talk about change. The reason they brought me in is because your company's being merged into another company. If I don't have some concept of the fear that everybody's going through about losing their job, I cannot be an effective speaker or consultant in that fashion. I was teaching a merger and acquisition course in North Carolina. Now, I've done over 50 M&A projects, so I have a pretty solid base in it. One of the people in the audience had done over 300 mergers and acquisitions. So every time I shared a piece of knowledge that I had, here would be Sam. Every single, said, well, Jim, I would just like to comment. And this was going on for like the first 45 minutes. I was getting uncomfortable. I could tell the people were getting uncomfortable. And finally I said, hey, Sam, can we just ratchet it down a bit? And that lasted for 1 question. And Sam was jumping back in again. And I said, Sam, do you realize that you and I are competing for this course? I don't get that, Jim. Yes, Sam, would you knock it off? Had to go to a 3rd time. Sam, you have to stop this. Jim, I understand what I'm doing. I will stop. This is my last question. So he couldn't even stop after I asked him to. Okay? So that's a knowledge piece that if you're addressing an audience that has more knowledge than you, you've got to be careful about that. The level of professionalism, and it gets back to some of our EBITDA and GAAP and all that good stuff. Not everybody understands what we're talking about. If you have a mixed audience, you're giving a financial presentation and you have people from the plant, you have middle managers, and you have senior managers. Are you going to phrase stuff differently? Absolutely. Are you going to talk about deferred taxes? No. We need to understand how that fits in with the knowledge level.